Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. We are back with another market analysis video here. I want to run through Tesla once again and see where they finished up this week, and also choose another stock that we can have a look at to basically be our stock of the week watch. So let's go ahead and jump on over. Okay, guys, here we are back on Tesla. We want to go ahead and look at what it did around our trend line and see what it may do this coming week. So right now we can see on the weekly level that it did come down and it has been respecting this trend line quite well. We did start the line on the 1 minute, right, excuse me, on the 1 day, which is right here, and then we drew the trend line up here, and we've been keeping an eye on it, noticing that it has been trending upwards. This was the last time that it touched the trend line down here, which has been a few weeks ago. But as you can see, it's pulled down. It hasn't yet come back down to touch that level. So honestly, going forward, if Tesla continues to move up this week to this 780 level that we have marked here, which is actually a previous high of this day, then I will probably go ahead and get rid of this trend line for the simple fact that Tesla has just continued to move up so much that it's really not respecting that trend line as much anymore as support. Now, having said that, we're going to need to give Tesla at least tomorrow to see what they're going to do pre-market and obviously at the bell to see if anybody's taking profits or if they're going to see this 780 level as an actual resistance and start selling off, which is definitely a possibility. Now, we are really close. It closed really close to 780. And again, a little bit more momentum, and this thing could rip straight through. And that's when we're going to start looking at 800 as our next target. I will say this, that Tesla did give a good trade opportunity this week for a nice swing trade. On Monday, as you can see, it pulled back the same way that it pulled back on this Monday before moving on higher for the rest of the week. So if that's any indicator of what's going to happen tomorrow, what is possible, we could see a slight pullback at the bell or maybe in the first half of the day, since we are so close to the 780 level. See a slight pullback and still close. I'm not going to say close lower, maybe not a red candle, but I could definitely see it pulling back before moving on a little bit higher in the second half of the day. Again, I would really want to wake up and have my eye on the 780 even before the market opens, just to see what Tesla does pre-market. Maybe there's some people that want to go ahead and jump in before it gets to this level for the anticipation of the rip, and then the rip on up to 800. So we are going to keep a look on Tesla. Again, Tesla is always a good stock to have on the weekly watch, because it's especially now because it's continuing to move on up. If you've just been lucky enough to get in your entry at the right point, you could have easily just held on to this all week and made a really nice profit. So we'll go ahead and jump over to the next stock. Hey guys, we are here at the stock to watch of the week. This week it is going to be DraftKings. Ticker is DKNG. They had a little bit of movement this week and a big drop one day when they actually reported that they had put in a bid for around, how much? Yeah, $20 billion offer to purchase a sports betting and gambling company. So that did have a really big effect on their numbers. So what we want to do is look at it real quick, see where some possible support may be, and if it may move on down this week before actually recovering. So let's take a look. Okay, everybody, we are here on the DraftKings daily and weekly charts. What we want to first have a look at is the day that news came out on, I believe it was Tuesday of last week, when we had this huge move on DraftKings, which would have been a really nice trade to the short side. And as you can see, it found this area here, which also coincides with this area here previously, as support. So one of the biggest takeaways also is this stock is sitting right around the 200 EMA on the daily. This, unfortunately, it fell through, and it looked like it did come back up and tap that line. So before I said, okay, this is the bottom and I'm willing to go ahead and buy back in for a long, I would want to see this move back higher above this level right here. And right now it's right around $52. Again, we are sitting really close to the $50 mark, obviously. And as you know, that would be a really big layer of support just for the idea of it being $50. Now, having said that, if it does break and lose $50, then we could see an even longer move to the short side, which then would come down and be around the VWAP, which would be around $48. As you can see here on the daily, we've had two times where DraftKings has consolidated for about a week or two before it made this huge move up over $60. Here, this was back in, I believe, July, and then on into August when we had this level of consolidation. We did have a few days where it ran up, but it would come back right back down. And then the second area where we have is where it went up after this run, and there was some more indecision before it made this curl move and then broke through that level. Right now, it's really hard to tell because this was such a large move down on that news. I tried to read through and see why it may have, sent it so far down. I tried to see if there was any kind of dilution, which there would be. I think, let's see, it's going to be, although 30% of it is going to be cash, so it's a majority of it would be in stocks if the acquisition went through. So, what we're going to keep a look at. And this actually, I day trade DraftKings, so I'm definitely going to be watching this for sure. In the morning, I am going to have this on my watch list for this possible loss of the $50 mark. And then we would want to look for a move on down to around $48.50, 48.75. Right now, the VWAP is sitting at 69. So that looks like it would be a really strong level to keep your eye on. So, and as you can see here, again, we had this consolidation area right here on the weekly. Now, it has moved lower. Don't get me wrong. We have a level down here at around $42. This has been a while ago. And, I'm not quite sure if DraftKings is so weak that it's going to want to move back down to this level right now. I thought DraftKings actually had a lot of momentum, especially now being the NFL season. It's one of their biggest money makers. You're going to see the holiday season, people just spending money and getting their bonuses and whatnot. So to me, just trying to use that as some kind of catalyst in the back of my mind of what actually may cause this to rebound, that would be one of the biggest things. It's just the time of year and the fact that we have just reached this area of consolidation on this side. So it's very possible that this could bounce back and forth around the 200 EMA. I would just have that in the back of my mind before I took any trades on DraftKings this week. Now, I don't know about the swing trade, but as far as day trading, like I said previously, this is going to be on watch. If they get pre-market volume, this one will definitely be one to keep an eye on because I could see this losing this 50 level and then moving on down, back down to 48. And, there's nothing wrong with a $4 move in one day, especially to the short side. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's really quick and brief. I'd just like to point out a couple of stocks that may be interesting for a swing trade. If you guys enjoyed the content, please feel free to give me that thumbs up and have a good week.